In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent. My name is Dr. Muhammad Aman Bashir. Today we will discuss the cellular and biochemical comparisons of bypass fats and glucose precursor in cows. As we know that bypass fats like bypass fat 84 or bypass fat 99 as well as glucose precursors in the form of MPG, in the form of glycerol, in the form of calcium propionate, both are the source of energy, bypass fat and glucose precursors. If a farmer or if a feed miller already used the sources of bypass fats like bypass fat 84 or 99 in their formulation, then why he can use the glucose precursors inside their formulation? There is a common question that we encounter nowadays in the field. Basically, a dairy cow requires a large amount of energy during early lactation, like the 30, 60 or first 90 days, because cows have to achieve the elite or the peak production. And there are two major supplement or the energy sources in the market that we can add in the feeding of the cow, like the bypass fats and the glucose precursors as a source of energy. Then we can discuss the cellular and the biochemical path of the bypass fats as well as the cellular and the biochemical pathways of the glucose precursor as well. We will discuss the biochemical process of the bypass fats, like the digestion and the absorption of the bypass fats occur in the small intestine. Bypass fats are inert in the rumen, means human microbes or human protozoa don't interfere with the content of the bypass fats. And in the small intestine, bypass fats can transport with the help of the chylomicrons and enter in the tissues or the body of the cows. Then beta oxidation of the fatty acids occur inside the mitochondria of a cell, where the fatty acids convert into the acetyl-CoA. Then acetyl-CoA enters the TCA cycle, and ultimately the ATP production can occur as a source of energy in the body of the cows. Excess bypass fat can store in the body of the cows in adipose tissues. As we discussed, that bypass fat in the small intestine can transfer or can travel from small intestine to the tissues of the body with the help of the chylomicron. Chylomicron is a small molecule, includes the cholesterol, phospholipid, protein and fat droplets in the form of the triglycerides. That's the composition of the chylomicron. When fatty acids enter the body of the cow, the cell of the cow, then fatty acids convert into the acetyl-CoA. Ultimately, acetyl-CoA enters in the TCA cycle, that also called the Krebs cycle, and produce the ATP that cow utilize as a source of energy inside the tissues, inside the cells. Just like the bypass fats, there is a cellular biochemical pathway of the glucose precursors. Many glucose precursors are rapidly fermented inside the rumen of a cow, like glycerol and monopropylene glycol, but propionate don't ferment inside the rumen of the cow, because propionate is a natural glucose precursor as well, and propionate directly absorbs in the rumen of the cow and enters the bloodstream or enters the liver of the cow. Glucose precursors absorbs from the small intestine, enters in the liver and initiate a process of the gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis basically is the process of the formation of the glucose. Glucose precursors like propionate or the other glucose precursors convert in the liver in the acetyl-CoA, then oxaloacetate, then into the glucose. That's the process of the gluconeogenesis. And what's the fate of the glucose inside the body of the cow? Glucose basically has the two fates inside the body of the cow. First one is the glycolysis in the cells of the body of a cow, like glucose breakdown into the ATP and utilized as a source of energy. The second source of the glucose precursor is that glucose convert into the lactose, a milk sugar that is essential for the cow milk composition. And this point is a plus point of the bypass fats, and this point is a prone point of the bypass fats. No doubt bypass fats have a higher source of energy, but bypass fats can't produce the lactose. As we discussed, that propionate and the other glucose precursors enter in the liver and initiate their process of the gluconeogenesis. The end product of the gluconeogenesis is the glucose, and the glucose has a two phases like glucose. First phase is that glucose break down into the pyruvate and release the ATP and use the source of the energy inside the cells of the cow, inside the body of the cow. The second phase of the glucose is that glucose convert into the lactose, that is the milk sugar. What is the key difference at a cellular level between the bypass fats and the glucose precursors? Like the site of the action, bypass fats are digested post-terminally, like in the abomasum in the small intestine, absorbed into the small intestine, while some glucose precursors are partially fermented in the rumen. Some absorbed in the rumen, like the propionate, and ultimately all the glucose precursors travel from the small intestine to the liver and initiate the process of the gluconeogenesis. Bypass fats are inert in the rumen, means rumen protozoa, rumen progeny or rumen microbes don't interfere with the content of the bypass fats, while some glucose precursors are partially fermented inside the rumen of the cow, like the glycerol or monopropylene glycol, while propionate don't ferment it inside the rumen of the cow, but propionate directly absorbs from the rumen of the cow, travels a distance and enters into the liver of the cow and initiate the process of the gluconeogenesis. The primary products of the bypass fats are the ATP. Just like that, the primary product of glucose is ATP, but side by side glucose can convert into the lactose, that is the milk sugar, and the main content or main component of the milk as well. Bypass fat have the highest yield, means one molecule of the bypass fats can produce the more ATP as compared to the glucose precursor, but bypass fat don't produce the lactose directly, or bypass fat do not support the ketosis. Ketosis basically it's a disease whenever animal have a glucose deficient inside the body, then ketosis develops. The main question or the main concern behind this presentation is that why use the glucose precursors, the bypass fats provide more energy. The answer of these questions is here, like glucose synthesize the lactose. Glucose prevents the animal from the negative energy balance. Instead, bypass fat don't do this. Glucose have some glucose precursors have the positive impact on the liver functions as well as on the metabolic health. Even the glucose precursors support the human stability and the appetite as well. The first one is the glucose synthesis need lactose synthesis need glucose. Glucose is only the precursor that convert into the lactose, while bypass fats can't convert it into the lactose. The second one is the negative energy balance. Basically, this is a disease develops in the body of the cow whenever a cow are deficient in the glucose. It will provide the bunch of the glucose precursors to the cow. Gluconeogenesis occurs, proper glucose levels maintained inside of the body of the cow, then the ketone bodies or negative energy balance don't develop inside the body of the cow. The third one is the liver function, like propionate and glycerol support the hepatic gluconeogenesis, means ultimately the support of the health of the liver, as well as some glucose precursors have the niacin and cobalt that can enhance the liver enzyme functions. And what are the main causes behind the ketosis? Whenever animal needs energy or animal have the energy deficient, means they have the insufficient ruminal production of propionic acid, that is a volatile fatty acid, or you have the deficient glucose precursors, that is synthetic, inside the feed of the cow. There is no much glucose inside the body of the cow. Ultimately, cow goes to the hypoglycemic condition, but a cow needs the glucose for the source of energy as well as for the lactose. Then fatty acid and the glycerol are oxidized to the acetyl-CoA, but acetyl-CoA not enter to the Krebs cycle, but it can produce the ketone bodies like beta hydroxybutyrate and acetoacetate. Is no doubt these ketone bodies are used inside the body of the cow as a source of energy, but meanwhile some compounds are produced alongside a ketone body that are harmful to the cow. Ultimately, this can damage the immunity of the cow and cow become prone to the many diseases. Whenever there is a deficiency of a glucose inside the body of the cow and the cow is in the hypoglycemic condition, the fat reserves are in the adipose tissues are break down into the free fatty acids for the lipolysis, and inside the liver of the cows these free fatty acids convert into the ketone bodies BHB and acetoacetate, and can use as a source of energy in the skeletal muscle and other tissue, while side by side there are a few molecules that produce with the ketone body that are ceramides and diacylglycerols that are lipotoxic. These can produce the inflammation inside the body of the cow, oxidative stress, and as well as these are the insulin resistant and can harm the body of the cow via cellular dysfunction. Ultimately, the milk production of the cow decreases, fertility, reproduction compromises, and the health of the cow compromises. This is the one more mechanism of ketosis. Like inside the body of the cow, when a glucose is abundant, the process of the gluconeogenesis, formation of glucose occurs, and the glucose used as a lactose sugar in the milk of the cow side by side as a source of the ATP. While a glucose is insufficient in the body of the cow and the cow is in the hypoglycemic condition, then the lipolysis occurs, then the fat reserves break down into the ketones and the ketone bodies are used as a source of the energy. But kept in the mind, these are harmful to the cows as well. And the last one is the glucose precursor has a positive effect on human stability and appetite due to the more production of propionate basically the glucose precursor that used inside the body of the cow. Ultimately, or alongside, some glucose precursors have rosemary extract with that also in the commercial brands that not only act as an antioxidant but also this can stimulate the appetite of the cows. Now the concern is that at which physiological stage of the cow we need a glucose precursor, or at which stage of the cow we need a bypass fats. Like whenever cow in the fresh day, like these are in the milking days 0 to 21, means the first 3 weeks they need a glucose for the liver for gluconeogenesis as well as for the lactose or milk sugar. In the first 3 weeks glucose precursors are recommended in the feeding of the cow, while in the peak lactation bypass fats are recommended because cow need a high energy density. In addition to this, in the transition period glucose precursors and energy both are recommended. Like we have to use the combination of bypass fats 84-99 with the glucose precursors in the transition period that falls 3 weeks before the calving or 3 weeks after the calving. And in heat stress as well we have to use the glucose precursors because these can initiate in the liver gluconeogenesis as well as maintain the glucose level inside the body of the cow and prevents the ketosis and many other diseases that are linked with the ketosis, because ketosis is a metabolic disease and this can open the multiple diseases gateway inside the body of the cow. The conclusion of this discussion is that bypass fats have high energy density and this can use as a source of ATP, while side by side glucose precursors are used as a source of the ATP, as well as this can prevent the ketosis from to the cow with the help of gluconeogenesis. And bypass fats also glucose precursors convert into the lactose. Both of the bypass fat and the glucose precursors are complementary role in the dairy cow energy metabolism, but we have to check the lactation stage, their body condition scoring and the milk yield of the cows. With the help of these parameters we can decide that we have to choose the bypass fats or the glucose precursors inside the feeding of the cows. Thank you so much.